Okay, folks, I'm trying something new, as usual, both in program priority, and I'm hoping the ZFC doesn't slip. Yep, it is. So, fortunately, I'm going to have to do it this way. And I'm wondering if I can move the camera over here. There, you see? I can do it like that. But then you get and you probably also get, yep, see the crack? That's a little bit to the left. I mean, it's more stable that way. Yeah. I can go like that though. Let's see. Let's see if that works. Go like that. Nope, that's too high. Well, that's not the same thing with the, yeah. See, there's a crack. So I'll do it like that. I'm hoping that's going to work, folks. A little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. And I'm going to put this there. Put it back down here. I'm going to put it underneath here. Get the wires out of the way. So, both in program. One's at F11, and one's at F8. Yeah. ZFC's at F8, the Sony's at F11. And the Sony's usually the darker one, okay? So it's a little bit to the left on the Sony ZV-E10. And it's the normal spot for the ZV, or ZFC, I mean, on the right-hand side. But they're both centered. They're not leaning one way or the other. Oh wow, doing something. So hopefully this will stay and not move. It's interesting. One's at F11. Usually I put these two in the afternoon if I have to on program priority, because it's always hazy in the morning. It's a little bit darker. It's not as sunny as it is in the afternoon. So the F8 at 1/500 of the shutter speed is looking good. ISO is 125. ISO is at 800. Let me see if I can change that. I sure can. Let's go to auto. On the Sony. So they got F11 now. Auto. Get faster than this car. So the ISO's now 100, but it still looks too dark on the Sony. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it to Intelligent Auto. Okay, so 1/200th of shutter speed, f11, ISO 100. It looks a lot better on the Sony now. That is one big machine. So it looks awesome on the Sony. 1000 shutter speed on the Nikon. So I'm going to put that in automatic too. Okay, is that a little bit brighter? It's now in automatic. 1/500th to 1/125th. One's f8, the other one's at f11. Yep, I can't change anything on the Nikon. Boy, that's one big truck. Big tractor, too. So this way you can compare the Nikon to the Sony on the automatic settings each during the daytime. The Nikon has a 30-minute time limit. The Sony does not. So I'm looking at the clouds. You know, it could be the LCD screen, folks. Now I do have it on 16:9 for the Nikon. On the Sony, I think it's on 16:9, but it doesn't give you that. I don't know if it's a full sensor or what. But what I'm looking at is, looks like there's, so I turned off there was stabilization on the ZFC. And so when I would turn the corners and stuff, you would get that stuttering. That was the only thing I was seeing wrong with it last night. I do not have it in manual mode. I just put it on automatic just to compare between the cameras, because a lot of people are asking me, well, which one should I get? Well, you make the decision. Okay? So I thought the ZFC did a better job at nighttime, but you can redo the settings the way you like it. Okay? You just have to learn how to do it on the Sony, because they just have one dial and then the back dial, right? Whereas most cameras, they have a front one. Well, I should call it a wheel, right? I don't know. But on the Sony, the wheel, okay, has display, ISO, the timer, bracketing, and exposure compensation, right, at the bottom. Well, in certain movie modes, you can't do the exposure compensation. So, anyhow, this is what I'm doing. And like I said, both cameras have their own type of coloring. I got it on neutral on basically both of them, okay? I turn off soft skin and product showcase on the Nikon. No, I'm sorry. Product showcase on the Sony, soft skin on the Nikon. I forgot to turn off the soft skin on the Sony. But it's looking awesome in automatic. So the LCD screen looks a little bit darker on the Nikon, right? But it may be the colors. I don't know. But they're about the same, okay, what I'm seeing on the screen. There's one light. See, so it's getting the sun, so let's see how it takes it. So you never trust the LCD screen, you trust the camera with its settings. And there is a lot of haze. I don't know if it's from the Sahara sand from Africa, or if it's all the construction work that's happening in this city. And it's probably from that. It's 82 degrees. I don't even think it got down to 80 degrees last night. Because when I was driving around, it was 83. And it was hot. You know, dry air. So usually I would have it straight with the Sony, and it would have matched, but I got that ding in the window, which I haven't fixed yet. I think I need to get an oil change, and I think I'll go to Discount Tire and see if I need a tire rotation. Some people say you don't really need it. Some say, no, you have to do it through the old school. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like the trucks. I hope I make it to work this time. Yesterday I came in right at 10. There's always a lot of traffic here. Should have gone to the other one. So everything's looking good. cameras. We'll get it in post. And so this automatic on the Sony is looking good, but that's the LCD screen, all right? So it's more white on the Sony, and it looks a little bit more yellow on the Nikon. The sky is more bluer on the Sony, so it might be the picture profile. I tried to get it neutral on both, so I got picture profile 10 on the Sony and neutral on the Nikon. No, ma'am.
All right, sir, give me just a moment. What can I give you?
Can I have a large Frappy Mocha, please?
Okay.
That's it.
All right, sir, go ahead.
All right. Maybe I should have got that cinnamon roll. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna let the truck go by first. So look at the HEB signs. Look at the gate. Look at the clouds. Which picture do you like best? I'm trying to make it compare at the best as possible. So it's 1/200th on the Sony. It's 1/500th. And you can see the sun peeking out on the Nikon. F8 on the Nikon. F11 on the Sony. ISO is 125 on the Nikon. It's 100 on the Sony. Now I have the 24 millimeter full frame Sony lens. It's the small lens. It's the G lens. There's 3 of them that came out. The 24, 40, and 50 millimeter. So the 40 and 50 millimeter are 2.5 aperture. This one right here, the 24 millimeter on the Sony, is a 2.8.
Large caramel?
Yeah, the Frappy Mocha.
Yeah. You want a large caramel or mocha?
There's Mocha.
Oh,
Mocha
yes,
Frappe.
caramel. So you want a large mocha caramel, mocha frappe?
Yes, ma'am.
There you go. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Ooh, mopping the outside. All right. Good morning. How you doing? Have a good one. See? Let them go ahead, and I still beat them. That's what happens when people, ooh, cows on the wheelchair. And the heat of the day is 83 degrees. Yes, it's in the morning, but I think the brother was pushing his sister on a wheelchair in the exit lane at HEB. And you see that truck? Those are the people I don't like. They go in and out of traffic. And they're the ones that cause accidents. They think they own the road. This guy's going 35 miles an hour in front of me, but it's a handicap for transportation of people. So how is the picture quality? You see any stuttering? I turn off the stabilization on the Nikon. Do you still see it? So what I've been doing is cheating a little bit. I upscale it to 4K 60, and that way it kind of removes the stuttering. I decided not to do it past 10 videos because I really want to show you what these cameras can do. Kind of like apples to apples, right? So I try to get the lens as close as possible. I have another 28, but you see I don't have a 24. The one on the Nikon, they don't have a pancake lens, but they are coming out with a DX 24mm f1.7, and I'm going to get it. I could also, and I have the adapter, the mega adapter, that I can put Sony lenses on the Nikon cameras. So I could put this same 24mm on this Nikon camera. And then it's really apple to apples, almost. But, so it's funny. Looking at the size, yeah, they're about the same. So on the Sony, you see a truck to the left and the car in front of it, whereas on the Nikon, you just see the car or the truck in the front and then the car at the stoplight. Now you can see the truck, yeah. See, it's coming into view in the Nikon. And the Via Trans, and that's our bus system here. They don't have a bus system anymore. Yeah, I think what he did was Letty put down caramel. So he kind of took off the whipped cream, put more whipped cream on it, and put chocolate. So I have the taste of both chocolate and caramel at the same time. Interesting. So instead of a beer, I like frappy mochas. It's not as heavy. I got a sweet tooth. I think it tastes better. I think I feel pretty lousy after a beer. You know, I feel heavier, you know, in the stomach. So with all this frozen coffee, the caffeine, I can work all day, drive the young ones crazy, do circles around them. lot of people tell me they get tired just watching me work. I said, pitch in, and you can be right with me. No, thank you. So, getting toward the stop. I see a lot of crazies driving. It's making me nervous. Peter Gregg, I feel for you. There's a lot of crazy drivers out there, especially in Texas. So, if you like this type of content, please give me a like, subscribe. Any questions or comments, put it down below. And as always, stay safe, keep smiling. Until next time, goodbye. All right. And here we go.